Hi guys. Well, as Dave said, I'm Jason Madar. You guys already know that, but we're on the chase here for hitting that 100,000 signature mark. We're very excited. Obviously, we're actually just south of that, just south of 100,000, but we haven't picked up from Flagstaff yet, and that's going to put us well over 100,000 signatures. Yep. So we're going to be doing that this week. We're very excited. Yep. Thank you to the, now it's well over 170 volunteers. I really need to update that number because we're signing up new people every week. We've got 2 meetings now, as you guys know, here at Jerry's. Thank you to Jerry's for hosting us each and every Sunday at 2 p.m. Obviously, we're very thankful to have this location. We've also got our meetings with Safer Arizona at Staff MMJ on Wednesdays. We're very thankful to be able to have that meeting going with Safer Arizona. Thank you to Safer, definitely. That's Wednesdays. That's at Staff MMJ on 19th Avenue in Cactus. We do another meeting there where we train volunteers, issue petitions. If anybody has any questions about either of the initiatives, of course, we're always happy to answer those questions. We love to talk about our initiative and MPP's initiative, as you guys know. So we're very excited to get people signing up here at the 2 weekly meetings that we've got. As I mentioned, we're going to be in Flagstaff this week as well. We're also at literally every single marijuana advocacy groups meeting. Phoenix Cannabis Coalition will be meeting this week. We've had a number of volunteers sign up recently through the campaign for numerous reasons. A lot of you have seen us through Safer Arizona's, Safer Dave's videos, which are great videos on YouTube. They've brought a lot of attention to the campaign. Again, we're very thankful for those. Thank you to Dave. The quality of Dave's work is outstanding. He's been doing real good work, and yeah, Dave's a huge asset to our campaign, as you all know. I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys already know this. So we're very excited to have that. We've also gotten some media publicity this week. And so we won't dance around the big pink elephant in the room. Let's just talk about it, right? The Phoenix New-Times did an article that, of course, covered, initially, they did 2 articles. The first covered that we are near 100,000 signatures, which is great news. We're very excited. It also explained that we're getting the boost of near 500 retail locations that are going to be hosting our petition, ranging from smoke shops, 7-Elevens, things of that nature. So we're very excited about that. We've also got a huge campaign going where we've been trying to raise money to pay for these petitions to get printed. And I'm very happy to say that since we've launched this campaign in the past couple weeks, we've reached well over $2,000 in campaign contributions coming from you, the campaign contributors, the actual marijuana consumers. Yeah, we're very excited about that. We've got to keep raising money. We need to raise just south of $10,000 to print the rest of these petitions. But realistically, we need money for other things like printing comparison charts, things of that nature. As you all know, you've heard me say this, we're going to be doing actually 2 billboards here for AZFMR's campaign. And we're very, very excited to get these going. We're just waiting on the graphics to be finalized for what the billboards are going to say. But we're very excited to get those going. We think that's going to be another huge boost to this campaign. Again, we do need to raise more money here to pay for the campaign petitions to get these in the 500+ locations. Again, back to the New Times article, as I mentioned, the first one covered just that we've reached 100,000 signatures. But they mentioned something in their article in the New Times that upset MPP's campaign to regulate marijuana like alcohol. And what they pointed out was that MPP's initiative allows cities and counties to ban growing if they consider it to be a nuisance. And this is something that, as you guys all know, we've been saying this for months and months and months now. And this was a provision that back when we were negotiating with MPP, we told them they needed to remove this provision. As a lot of you know, our #1 provision that we insisted on having in their initiative was real grow rights. Initially, they took out grow rights, and we had to launch a boycott against the medical marijuana dispensaries, who at the time were the people who were insisting that the grow rights be taken away. And so once we initially told them that we would not support their initiative, they included what we call fake grow rights. It's the 25-mile rule with a new coat of paint. We all know what the 25-mile rule did to us, right? It allowed us to grow initially, but then it said that we weren't allowed to grow if we lived within 25 miles of a dispensary, and that's 98% of us. So MPP's new initiative says that you can grow 6 plants, but the city or county can ban marijuana growing if they choose to do so. And again, we know based on our interactions with the cities and counties in 2011, when Medical Marijuana the act was passed, that they hate marijuana. They are going to ban marijuana growing if given the chance. And the New Times article highlighted on this. Long story short, MPP was very upset and contacted the New Times and demanded that the article be completely retracted. Right. Ray Stern at the Phoenix New Times did not remove the article, but MPP on Facebook made a big stink about the entire thing needs to be removed immediately. Unfortunately, again, we felt that Ray Stern's reporting was accurate in his initial publication that he did, his initial story. So he didn't remove anything, but he did include a little addendum to say that that MPP's campaign does dispute this, this point. And so this prompted a huge Facebook war, essentially, over whether or not MPP's initiative really actually allows this to happen. Ray Stern, long story short, Ray Stern did a second article that examined the issue. And again, MPP claims that essentially Ryan Hurley says that yes, the provision exists that allows MPP's initiative to, allows the localities to ban growing for anybody over 21, but he claims that it's very unenforceable, essentially, and that you won't be able to enforce this because the cities and counties couldn't possibly claim that marijuana growing in general is a nuisance. And of course, I mean, that's their argument, that provision exists, but that's their argument, and we know that that's simply not true. And we know that's not true because, again, as I mentioned, we know how the cities and counties feel about marijuana. We know the type of ordinances that they passed for medical marijuana patients. We also know that they passed very restrictive ordinances for medical marijuana dispensaries as well. Ironically, Ryan Hurley knows better than any of us how reluctant the cities and counties have been to issue zoning ordinances that help the dispensaries. They're all very restrictive ordinances that fight against the dispensaries' wills and their best interests. And so ironically, Ryan Hurley, more than anybody, understands that truth. But again, he does make the claim that he feels that it's unenforceable. But as you all know, and Ray Stern pointed this out as well, Carlos Alfaro, MPP's campaign manager, has also admitted that this provision exists as well. Basically, everybody admits now that the provision exists. The only question is what is the likeliness that the cities and counties will actually decide to ban growing? And again, you know, attend city council meetings and let's ask them, right? We know how they feel about marijuana. They're not going to want anybody with over 21 to grow marijuana, unfortunately. So what these two articles did essentially was it really gave us just tons of media on the left side and on the right side. You know, it really, you know, shined the spotlight on our initiative and what we're doing to try and counter MPP's problems, but it also shined the spotlight on MPP's initiative to explain, for example, in this case, the fake grow rights provision in MPP's initiative. And so we're thankful for that. Again, they also highlighted the other side that in AZFMR's initiative, you are guaranteed to be able to grow 12 plants if you are over the age of 21. A city or county is not going to be able to ban marijuana growing under our initiative. We feel very strongly about that. We felt that that should be an essential right. When the Cannabis Consumer Coalition here in Arizona met, that was, again, the #1 provision that we insisted on. Decriminalization was #2, consumer protections like DUI, things like that, opening up the licenses, these were 3 and 4. But we all wanted grow rights, and so this is a very big issue. We've gotten a lot of publicity, as I mentioned. We're very excited about this. This means we've gotten a few extra campaign contributions, which is how we were able to raise more than $2,000 in just a few weeks. But we need to bring in more. It's great. I mean, I love harping on how good it is that we were able to bring in this amount of money in such a short period of time, but we need more. And we need to really bring it in so we can start printing these petitions to get them out to the shops. We were able to get to about 15 different shops this week for getting the petitions out. Of course, that was partially because we needed to print more petitions. But now that we've got another batch of 1,000 printed, we're ready to go. We just got another batch of comparison charts printed by our friends at Independent Wellness Center out in Apache Junction. As long as we contribute the paper and the ink, they will continue to print. Yep. Yeah, that's huge. That's a certification center, so it's a doctor's office. Right. A lot of you have seen our campaign finance reports, and if you see and you look at the details of the reports, you'll see that, yes, we raised about $13,000, but a lot of what we brought in were in-kind contributions just like this. And if you look at what we spend our money on, we aren't buying steaks and in $1,000 hotels and fancy dinners. And I mean, look at what we're spending our money on. We are spending our money on petitions, printing, banners, things of that nature, right? So obviously, that's a huge difference. So the significance is we want everybody to know, and I think this message has gotten out pretty clearly, that when you donate and contribute to our campaign, your donation and your contribution is actually going towards the campaign. Rest assured, we're not eating $1,000 steak dinners on your dime. We are using this money for the campaign itself. So with that being said, we've got to do a huge push here in the next coming months. As you all know, we've got to get to 150,000 signatures by July 7th. That's the bare minimum. We realistically need more than 200,000. So we need to kick it in gear. A lot of you have heard me say we're 9 months behind MPP. That's not an excuse, it's just a fact, but it does mean that we need to kick it in gear if we're going to get on the ballot in 2016, which we are aiming to do. We will get it on the ballot here in 2016. Arizonans are ready for legalization, and we're ready to give it to them. So with that being said, if you guys would like to contribute, our website is legalizemarijuanainarizona.org. Again, we can accept contributions in person at these meetings, either cash or debit card. We do have a Square card reader. So if anybody wants to contribute, either online or in person, please let me know. If anybody has any questions about MPP's initiative, our initiative, what the differences are, of course, you can always hit us up on our website or on Facebook, also the Safer Arizona Facebook. They're always available to answer questions as well. So obviously our big goal here is to collect signatures, collect some money to print petitions, and continue getting the word out. So thank you, everybody, obviously, around the state. Thank you all.